that I'm starting a live on YouTube. And I'm live on YouTube now. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on Facebook. Hi, guys. This is a quick community check-in for both my Facebook community and my YouTube community. So I love that we are able to do this in Technicolor. Hopefully my bandwidth will hold out on this. Basically, I'm coming on because, well, we're going to, we're always going to run some energy and maybe look at a message for today for our mindset and all of that. But I was looking at my YouTube community poll that I put out in Facebook, guys. Basically, I was looking for the next topic that you guys wanted to do for the next community meet and greet, which will be somewhere around the first weekend or week of October. And two choices that I put up that were getting some traction were decision-making authority and confidence and human design. And confidence and human design has actually kind of won out over the last day or so. So, and, I was all set to really put together some things for decision-making authority. And I know that this is so important for those of you who really want to get started with your human design experiment, with really aligning to your blueprint. And I don't know why I have so much shadow. I think it's, but anyway, and it's so critical that I don't want to, for lack of a better term, half-ass it. So what and our community meet and greets, they're not half-assing. They are an informal time for us to get together and to talk about what's on top for you, right? And to explore a topic that's relevant for you. The decision-making authority, when I saw that there was a little bit more interest in the confidence in human design, I really think that we can weave some decision-making authority wisdom in there. But what came to me last night is that this is really something that needs to go into the Discover Your Design course that I've created. That is a pay what you want course. It's I'll make sure you get a link because maybe all of you don't know about this. And I'm building it as we go. I'm incorporating maybe some of the free videos you've seen. I'm incorporating some of the things that I've taught in the past in workshops. And this is something that I will make as my goal and intention to have up into the Discover Your Design course by the time that we have our next meet and greet. So I'm wondering if that works for you. Hi, Lorna. Yay, good to see you. And those of you who are on the live stream on YouTube, go ahead, feel free to chat in and give me some feedback here. This is a community check-in. I want to make our time here in our communities as fruitful for you as possible. So that's what I'm going to do with the decision-making authority interest that you have in that topic, because this is so important for you to get grounded in the mechanics of how you make decisions. And initially I thought that maybe I would just make it informal, and those of you who came on to the meet and greet, we could talk about your decision-making authority, but it really needs to be more thorough than that and more structured and organized so that you can get the meat and potatoes of it and begin to put it into practice or to refine it for yourself. Maybe you already have the meat and potatoes and you just want to refine it. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to go into the Discover Your Design pay what you want. It's pay what you want right now. It's all experimental. So you can go over there right now and get into it. And there's some things in there already. And then I'll have that up for our community meet and greet. And I'd love to know what works for you in terms of your time zone to come on live, whether or not actually the YouTube is the way to go. I know I'm broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. I prefer to work on YouTube because, and this is my interpretation, I'm a 3/5 projector. It's a great platform for me to hop on just like I am now and bump into people and have people bump into me. We exchange something that is meaningful, and then we go our separate ways. It's a great platform for me as a projector to get visibility and to cultivate my content in a way that is kind of in alignment with my own profile. So that's why I like it. I have nothing against Facebook, but sometimes like my videos don't get seen or whatever, and there's a lot of advertising that goes into that. YouTube is much more about flow for me. And that's something that I want to share with you today is, you know, this importance of really being in the flow of what's working for you. Not being afraid to let go of the standard advice, the standard conventions of the way you do your business, of the way you live your life, that really weigh you down or don't serve you in certain aspects. And this was something that I was struggling with this poll that I put out about what topic do you want to explore in the next meet and greet, because I personally was not really feeling the topic of your decision-making authority. And, you know, I know that it's important. I know that it's extremely important for those of you who bumped up against me and you have this human design chart in your hand and you don't know what it means, and you see your decision-making authority and you're just totally mystified. It's extremely important for you to know what that means and to have some practical understanding of that, because this is the foundation of your human design journey, of you beginning to trust yourself. And it's also the foundation for building confidence. You know, it's that piece where when you know how your body is speaking to you through your decision-making authority, then you build more confidence and trust in yourself, and confidence and trust in your body's cues and what it's trying to tell you. And I put out a newsletter yesterday about empowering the body. And it's about, you know, really knowing that, really being able to have that understanding and that strength of connection inside yourself to empower your body, because the body calls the shots in our life. The body, our bodies are, you know, if we didn't have bodies, we wouldn't have to be here on planet Earth. This is our vehicle for experiencing life. And knowing your decision-making authority is so important. And understanding how that works is so important for riding confidently in your vehicle, in your body. So that's, but I wasn't feeling it personally because I've taught it many times and I've worked with many clients on it. And, you know, having this experimental aspect to my profile, the I'm 3 in my profile, makes it so that I really need to have some variety and need to move on to the next thing or build upon the next thing. And so it was something that was feeling personally stale for me in certain respects, but I'm happy to serve. And that's what you initially were inviting out of me. And then last night when I saw that the confidence piece is something that seems to be of more interest, that's why I want to just, you know, it's challenging me to put these pieces, these foundational pieces in that course of Discover Your Design, so that you can have that to work on when you need to work on it. And then we can come into community in the moment and talk about confidence. We can talk about how authority is part of that confidence piece for you, that confidence of being in your body and trusting what your body is telling you. And we don't have to get weighed down into the things that, quite honestly, you can get through a YouTube search, you can get through a book. Maybe that you don't have the full understanding of how to integrate that into your personal life, but you can read about it just about anywhere if you do a search for your decision-making authority. When I put it in the course, I'm really going to work on getting it so that you have something tangible to work with, something tangible to ground that knowledge and understanding into your life with. But when we come to community, we're going to talk about confidence, and and I think it's just so important to live from a place of confidence where you know who you are. You at least have a good feeling of why you're here, what it feels like to be fulfilled, and how you are designed to navigate to that fulfillment for yourself. You know, how you are designed to get into this place. And of course, strategy and authority are the foundation for that. But there are other things in your human design chart, as I mentioned in the last live stream that I did, that has to do with, that can show us and give us clues about where what it takes to be confident, what it takes to cultivate self-confidence, and how you dance with those factors to align more with your own self-confidence, to raise your level of self-confidence. I've been contemplating these different energy centers, and basically I've been looking at the spleen center, the will center, and the G center for this. And as I've been going into it, it's potentially another one of those really deep rabbit holes that may not be appropriate for our in the moment community celebration. So I will get a good outline for us to have a good conversation about it. But I'm feeling like if this is something that you guys are really interested in and can really benefit from, that you recognize that you can benefit from it, we may have to take this into the Zoom room and do some workshop work around it. So, but we will definitely work with it. And like I said, if you are watching this at another time, or if you are watching it now and you weren't able to make the last live stream because of the date or the time, I'd love to have your input on when you would like to do that. I can't guarantee that we will do it at that time, but I like, hi, Clara. Yay, you're interested in it. Awesome. But I'd like to get as many of you on the line as possible at the time, if you choose to make it at that time. So you can just chat in or put it in the comments afterwards what your ideal time is for that, or ideal day. I'm thinking a Saturday afternoon again, and it won't be the 3 hours that we had last month. That was that was my birthday celebration, okay? And I am going to do a drawing again. I'm not quite sure for what yet. If I wasn't doing the Discover Your Design as a pay what you want, I'd probably do that, but I'm going to keep it in the way that it is, as an experiment to see how it goes. So, you can get into that for free if you choose. So that's not a really good gift. But anyway, I'm shuffling cards because I feel like we haven't had a good check-in. I want to give you something good to take with you to reflect upon today. A message. And these are Sonia Choquette's Souls and Soul Purpose card. Couple deep breaths and join our hearts. And even if you're seeing this later, join your heart in. Join your heart in. And struggling with, that you may be dealing with today, let's just ask for a message that will speak to our collective community consciousness, and will inform us of something that will be useful for us to reflect upon as we move through the rest of the week. Okay, keep your commitments. This is so interesting for what we have been what I've been talking about here today, about where we're going with the topic for the next community meet and greet, the YouTube meet and greet, and how personally I want to keep my commitment to my community in that. So I'm going to invite you to kind of open up your heart and your mind and consider the commitments that you are working with, that you have made, and let's see what the soul lessons and soul purpose cards have to say for us. Are you making promises that you aren't keeping? Are you falling short on your commitments to others, or taking more from people or situations than you're giving? You feel that the don't apply to you, or that you're special and deserve more than others? If so, brace yourself, because your behavior is about to catch up with you. Wow, these are really strong cards. Your ego is distorting your view and leading you away from your soul's commitment to grow. Your higher self, ever lovingly present, is about to help you make a course correction, so buckle up. Your soul's purpose right now is to grow in integrity and humility in the face of the divine. You can no longer ignore or deny your spiritual responsibilities, or pretend that you're the exception to the rules of the game of life. Above all, be fair with your dealings with others. Your soul's lesson: rein in your ego and return to your spirit. All upsetting shocks presently unfolding are direct repercussions of your overly self-indulgent or negative behavior patterns over a long period of time. Man, these cards really like to kick you in the butt. These disruptions aren't meant to punish you, but rather to shake you free from your delusions and help you reconnect to your higher self. You can minimize your agitation by admitting your errors quickly, especially in your failure to keep promises and fulfill your obligations. Stop making excuses. Simply put, it's time to straighten up and fly right. Are you guys still there? That's like, that's almost offensive. You know, what came to me when I read this, to me, was the Will Center. And this is something that we're going to talk about on the topic of confidence in human design. You know, most of us on the planet don't have a defined will center. And if you're one of those people and you are making promises from this place where you feel that you have to prove your worthiness, or making promises and trying to stick with them and you're not able to stick with them, this is something that you may want to reflect upon in that framework. You know, where are you trying to keep commitments that are not yours to keep? Where are you making promises that you that aren't really grounded in your own decision-making authority, which, you know, or your own strategy? Where are you just trying to offer things up if you have to wait to be invited, or you wait for something to respond to, but you're not responding, or you don't have an invitation? Where are you trying to initiate commitments where there's really no energy to hold that, you know, to hold you into that commitment? This is something that can undermine your confidence. And I'll speak to also those of you who have a defined will center. You know, this is a very defined will center message. You know, if you have a defined will center and you're making promises, make sure that, first of all, they're in alignment with your strategy and authority. Make sure that it's something that you're your body really wants to do, you know, that is, and the energy is there for it through your strategy, and stick to that commitment. As someone with a defined will center, you have, it's important, it's in the health of your heart to get your heart around things and commit to things that are right for you and to follow through on those things. And it looks like there we are. I don't know if you missed that part, but I was saying on YouTube that it's important, if you have a defined will center, to make commitments to those things that you can really get your heart around, and stick with those commitments in a way that is in alignment with what is correct for your body. And for those of you who don't have a defined will center, consider the motives for making your commitments before you make them. Consider whether or not the energy is there, and whether or not this is something that is truly in alignment with the way that you operate, with your strategy and authority, with the way that your body wants to engage itself in life. So I think that's it. That was like a tell it like it is kind of a card. I've been getting a lot of those lately. Like this morning I got one that said, basically it said, grow up, you're acting immature. It didn't say it like that, but it's like, where are you having your temper tantrums? and where are you acting out because you're reacting to disappointments? And I hadn't been aware of any disappointments. So I'm taking that one in and just looking at, okay, where in my life am I being a bit immature? What kind of behaviors and habits do I have that are really kind of a throwback to having, the times earlier in my life when I wasn't as mature? So, okay, so I am going to cut it off here, and we are going to continue with our. I welcome your comments. Oh, I'm disconnected again. I welcome your comments and your questions and your input about the next community meet and greet, the time, the topic, the questions you have around your design, and the confidence that you can feel in your body by fully living within your design, fully embracing your design, and expressing the highest aspects and expression of it. So go ahead and make sure after we're done to leave your input in the comments. And thank you so much for joining me today, and there will be more to come. Bye.